To include special education in that pipeline. We have to include ADHD in that pipeline. We have to include the learning disability in that pipeline, and we have to include conduct disorder in that pipeline. Too many black boys are being sent to special education who do not have learning disabilities. They are being sent there because the classroom teachers don't want to be bothered with them. And once they are placed in special education, they are now undereducated and miseducated, which is intensifying the mass incarceration war against our young people. And then there's another evil called ADHD. Do you know what ADHD means? ADHD means there ain't no daddy at home disorder. That is ADHD. 85% of black boys diagnosed with ADHD don't have fathers in their lives. This is not about psychiatry. This is not about psychology. This is about a war against black men that's sending the fathers to jail and then giving their sons the same drug that sent daddy to jail to give it to his son so he can sit still long enough to learn about Christopher Columbus. We have to do something about this. Too many young boys on Ritalin. Too many young boys on Concerta, Adderall, Prozac, Paxil, Risperdal, and the list goes on. This morning while I was getting dressed, I was watching the television and a commercial came on about the drug Risperdal. I don't know if you heard about it. The drug Risperdal that they give to little boys to help them sit still causes a side effect that raises the amount of prolactin hormone in their bloodstream. Prolactin is the hormone that helps women grow breasts postpartum so they can feed their children. So guess what Risperdal is doing to black boys all across this country? They are growing breasts as a result of this drug, a drug that they do not need. If we want to improve the school system, all we have to do is give our boys male teachers. The crisis in miseducation is the crisis of a lack of black male teachers. If you want to cut special ed in half, you want to cut ADHD in half, you want to cut gang violence in half, you want to cut dropout in half, you give these boys male teachers. That's what they need. They are not against getting an education, but they also have a need for masculine validation in their life. And until they get the masculine validation, we're going to keep on having this problem. The school district doesn't have a spending crisis. The school district does not have a budget crisis. You can educate a child on almost a nickel a day, but you got to make sure the people in front of that child absolutely cares about their best interests. And the last thing I want to say, we have to fight, brothers and sisters. We have to fight to put the trade skill building programs back into the high school. College is not the answer for every child. I went to college because I wanted to be a psychologist. Some of you went to college because you wanted to be educators and engineers and doctors and attorneys, but some of our children don't necessarily want to be something that requires a college education. So why are we making them go? There's just as much decency in being a plumber as it is in being a plumber. There's just as much decency in being an electrician as it is in being a surgeon. We have to stop telling our children that the only way they can make something of their lives is with a college degree. That is not true. Blue-collar workers make just as much money as white-collar workers. America has 2 million African Americans with master's and doctorate degrees who cannot find work. The only thing you're guaranteed to get from college is student loan debt that you can't even find a job to pay back. Last thing, there's a historically black college for sale in Lawrenceville, Virginia. The name of that college is St. Paul's, founded by James Solomon Russell, who was a contemporary of the late Booker T. Washington. That college graduated its last class in June of 2013. It's been closed for a year. Well, Dr. Umar Johnson wants to purchase that college and turn it into the Frederick Douglass and Marcus Garvey International Leadership Academy for Black Boys. But in order to do that, I have to raise $5 million by August the 21st. If you care enough about our boys, and if you would like to make a contribution, please visit drumarjohnsonschool.com. That is DRUMARJOHNSON school.com. If any parents here have any issues with your children as it relates to mental health and education, please get in contact with me on my personal website, which is drumarjohnson.com. But please, ladies and gentlemen, stop putting them in special ed. They don't need special ed, they need better education. They need better instruction. They need men in their lives. Stop putting them on psychiatric medicine. He does not need drugs. He needs his daddy. Thank you, brothers and sisters.